Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to assemble a Mega Constructs kit, and I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And before I get things going, I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. And if you feel like being a lurker, it's okay. You just go ahead and lurk. It's a Monday. I think this might be too bright, so I might try to turn this down a little. Maybe that helps. We'll take it down a notch and we'll see. But hey, Last Brick, welcome. It's a Monday. So I found a new spot to put my light, and I like where it is, but it is bright on my face, which is not the best, but it illuminates the build surface in a way that I'm enjoying. Also, I got a new a HDMI to USB 3.0 adapter, because you may remember that previously we've had a couple times where with the previous one I bought, which was supposed to be the upgrade, but turns out not that great, it was causing a freeze. Now, a couple people pointed out, well, maybe that's your cable. And that could be fair. I do have another cable coming, and it might be good to just do that because I've been using this other one for years now since I got this camera in probably 10 years now. I've had this camera, so that cable has been in use off and on. Now much more on, previously off. So I'm like, well, maybe I should consider the option of getting a new cable. But I got a new adapter, and so fingers crossed it's going to work fine. But things look good between the lighting and the camera adapter. Things are looking pretty damn strong, and let's go to the overhead camera right now. As you can see, nice and bright here, and if I go like this, yeah, oh, I don't want to do that, want that, even brighter, so good. Hey, Lord Crash, welcome. I'm very happy with this. Is it perfect? No. I put it there, still like, the shadows are far less now. Now that the light is higher than it was, it is casting less shadows. There's still going to be shadows when I move my hand, because again, the best case scenario would I would have two lights that would be pointing away from me, that would be hitting white umbrellas, that would bounce the light back on it, and they would be pretty much, on both sides of the build surface, about equidistant, and they would shine the light back on. That's not the case. I don't have that. I have one overhead light source. Well, I have two overhead light sources. They are uneven. One is my day-to-day. One is just for streams. Then I have another light source that hits me. When I still lived in New York, I had those two lights because I had a lot of space for those two lights. I don't have that here. And also, I had just like a little clip halogen that would illuminate me, and it worked all. It all worked well. I don't have that now. We're doing our best. But I am liking this lighting so far. I think it works pretty damn well. I'm pretty pleased with it. We are working on, I haven't said that yet, have I? I didn't update this. Wow, I'm all over the fucking place. My apologies. I didn't even update this here. All right, let's update that. Let me get the name copied in here. My apologies. We're working on the Mega Mini Motion Golbat. Let me get that going in here. Put that in there. There. The Mega Mini Motion Golbat is what we were working on tonight. My apologies for not having that listed properly. I've had this in my backlog for a while. I ran a poll for my $10 patrons who decide what I work on, and I gave them the option. This or a model kit that I've had since last year, because I wanted to build one of those two. I was determined to do one of those because they have been in my backlog the longest. And sometimes I get new interesting things that people are excited about, and then the old thing, even if it's cool, doesn't get built. And so I want to build this mini Golbat, or optionally we could call it Golbat but in Japanese, or we could call it Nosferalto. Nosferalto is the name of Golbat. And I think we might call it Nosferalto, because that's a really good name. But I don't know. We have plenty of time before I have to make that decision on what we're going to call this goddamn thing. So we're knolling. We have bags 1 and 2. This is, of course, a Mega build here. We do have their brick separator, which I like. I like their brick separator. It's different from the other ones. I think it's fine. This is Mega is owned by Mattel. Last year we did build one of the Mattel like Hot Wheels brand build kit, which is very similar under the same umbrella, but more focused on you get the car. Right here you can see you get the car, and then you build the car out of bricks, which is fun. This is a good little. This is a good indication. Previous light setups we had here, this did not look this shade of purple and blue. It looked different. So what I'm seeing in my OBS preview and what I'm seeing in my dashboard is very similar to what I'm seeing in person, which we didn't always have, which is nice. Because we are not overcompensating for the lighting. That's the thing. That's the reason why it didn't work right. It was because I was artificially in OBS brightening how you saw things, which wasn't good, because then I had to compensate for upping the contrast by upping the gamma, and it just didn't work right. So with this, currently, what you see is very close to what I'm seeing. It's almost identical because I am not doing anything in OBS. The only thing I'm doing in OBS is I'm reversing or flipping the camera image because my arms, like, otherwise my arm will be coming from this like that, and so I swap it so that it is not flipped like that, because that is not pleasant for some people. And that's it. That's the only thing I'm doing in software. Because the overhead camera, is, how do I describe this? To the overhead camera, this is the top and this is the bottom, because that's the only good way for me to mount it on its stand, is to have it be like that. And it's fine that way. I could do it the other way. It would be more complicated. So I just in OBS flip it, and that's the only difference. And everything else is, like I said, identical, which is good. That works out pretty damn good. We are knolling. If you've never done this before, we are taking like-size pieces that are the same color and putting them together to condense them. And it's easier to find those pieces. And then we are grouping by color, because that is also easy and easier to find things if they are grouped together. Because then I'm like, oh, okay, I need light gray. Let me look at all the light gray. I need a 1x2 in light gray. I got 4 of those 1x2s together. Okay, I can find that. So I just put them together, and then they're easy to find. And we'll do the same thing here with our dark grays. Again, these are bags 1 and 2. I have some of the other stuff kind of done ahead of time. My $5 and $10 patrons should have gotten, they certainly should have gotten a post from me today on Patreon about some kits. A mailbag video got filmed today and will be released to the general public tomorrow. I got 2 kits in the mail from a viewer, a friend, who has previously also sent some kits. Originally, I knew there would be 1 kit that he was sending because it's something that he already built and had an extra of. And then it turns out he also had he had a kit there that he knew he was just never going to get around to building. And he thought it would be better for me, someone that builds things constantly, which I do. I do build things constantly. So Premium Bandai has a thing in the US where you can get a blind box. You pay a certain amount of money, and you know you're going to get a certain amount of kits that have a certain amount of value, and they are often kits that they aren't putting up for pre-order again, limited run order again, because they maybe don't have enough, for their spreadsheet say, oh, if we drop below this number, then we'll take it out or whatever. So you don't know what you're getting. And in this case, DSHS got, which is of course an online persona name, DSHS got a kit that they already had before. They've already built. so it was an extra. And then there was one other kit they just knew they probably weren't going to ever build. One of those kits I've been thinking about for a very long time, and I'm excited to work on it. It's going to be a fucking production. It's a master grade that is going to take some time and energy. It'll fucking be a project, let me tell you. And the other one is a kit that the base of the kit we've built before on stream. We built when the anime, which the Gundam series it is from, came out. But this is a variant. It's a for premium Bandai variant of it, so it'll be a different experience. And it's folks that have been around for a while will know this without me saying it, but obviously this is a channel where if death sites are available, we build death sites on this channel. That's just a true statement, right? There's another in the Gundam family of mobile suits that we have built quite a lot of. And I think I haven't built every variant of it, but I'm close to building every variant of this one mobile suit, which again, I'm not going to say because I want the video to come out, but 5 and 10 of our patrons have access to seeing that. And everybody else just has to fucking wait till tomorrow. I will be running a poll for my $10 patrons on what I should, which of those two I should build first. So once this is done, what will be the next thing that I work on? Because of course, buying something from my Amazon wish list or sending me kits means that you jump the queue. Because that's the least I could do is build those before I build the cool stuff in my backlog. And there's some fucking cool shit in my backlog. Let me tell you. I've got some good stuff. I got some pre-orders in for later in the year that I'm excited about. I pre-ordered this is a weird thing to say. I pre-ordered a 2026 model kit, redesign and modern redesign of a fucking, God, it's so weird to say, of the Leopard, Leopold, I should say, the Leopold from Gundam X, a new 2026 Gundam X model kit is coming out, and I pre-ordered it, and that's fucking wild. A non-X or double X, because of course we did have that not too long ago, but like first G Gundam, and G Gundam is popular, but like I've talked about this before when people bring up like the Gundam that nobody likes. Gundam X is the Gundam series that Japan, the second worst rated Gundam series in Japan. I haven't looked to see if they didn't enjoy any modern, but I'm saying like up until, for a long time, it was the least liked Gundam series in Japan. And it only got beat out by the SD Gundam series that was originally just in America. Because they fucking hated that shit. And there might be other Gundam series since then that have done worse. But for the longest time, that was the least liked Gundam series. And now to be able to say that Gundam X, one of the other least liked Gundam show, is getting new builds, like new designs of old kits and new releases in 2026 is fucking crazy. Like, the Blu-ray came out. When did Gundam X Blu-ray, when did that release? When the Gundam X Blu-ray came out. Let me look up when was that released? Okay, Afterworld Collection 1 on Blu-ray. God. Yeah, Collection 1 on Blu-ray. When did the DVD come out? Because there was a DVD as well. I bet I can't find out when that came out. Let me see. The release date, June 7th, 2016. In 2016, the DVD came out. And in 2020, the Blu-ray came out. So when the DVD came out in 2016, that was the first time that Gundam X was available with subtitles in America. Hey, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I already said hi to Lord Crashington earlier. Oops, looks like that aborted stream ended my streak early. I'm sorry to hear that, Lord Crashington. That did count as a stream. The Tuesday stream that I had to cancel minutes into it did count as a stream. It was long enough to count as a stream, so I'm sorry that your streak got broken. But yes. Last Tuesday, I did have a stream that I did not have. Was going to have a stream and then didn't. Because my voice just fucking gave out on me completely. Anyway, there's going to be a Gundam X kit, and I'm very excited about having the opportunity to build that. I'm very excited about that. But I have some good stuff waiting in the wings. These two kits, these two builds that are coming are also quite good, and I'm very excited about them as well. It's just a good time. It's a good time to be a guy that builds model kits on stream, which is me. That's me. I do that. I'm the guy that does that. There are other people that do it. Just see, I don't want to have you go somewhere else into another models and crafting stream, but I am not the only person that does brick kits and model kit building. There are other people. It's not just me. I'm the best at it, and that also isn't true. Because there are people that do, they do painting because they have the respirator and the space and all that. They'll do all kinds of stuff. I will say this: I don't think there's anyone who is more consistent than me. I will give myself that grace. You know what I mean? Like, I am not the person that will say that I am certainly not the most entertaining person in the world. I am not necessarily the most consistent. But I am the most consistent. Like, I am not out here pretending like, like that that I'm doing it better than anybody else. But I will say that I do think that nobody else is doing it as consistently as I am. Where the only time I don't take off just because I'm like, I'm not really fucking feeling it. You know what I mean? Because that would be wild for me to think that way. But I will take off if there is a wrestling pay-per-view happening for AEW on like a Saturday night. Then I won't stream that Saturday because there's a wrestling pay-per-view. Luckily, with football season not happening right now, the AEW pay-per-views are on Sunday. Because then it's not a conflict for Tony Khan with the Jacksonville Jaguars and all that. So the pay-per-views are on Sundays, and I can watch those. We got ourselves a fucking rubber band here because this is the mini motion. There will be movement with the Golbat. It will do some kind of movement. So I need to put this. I need to get this going here. So this looks like this goes like this, and then it looks like it goes like that, but that doesn't, I don't necessarily make sense, but like this. I'm gonna look at this closer, because this could really fuck shit up. So I gotta make sure it is right. So there is a rubber band in here. Let me use a, and then it's like, okay, so you put one there, and then you put one like that. And there's a little extra that goes there. That goes up. Yeah, I think this is how they want it to be. All right, we're going to leave it like that. I don't know. I'm sure there will be something else I learn about this later. And maybe I didn't do it right, but I think I just did it correctly. So we'll find out. We'll find out if I fucked that up. But I think that's how they want me to do it. Once again, one of the best parts of Mega is that they indicate, okay, here are the pieces. here's where they go. You can see by the yellow, that's where they go on the board. And I find that to be incredibly helpful, because that is a thing that I have certainly done with Lego before, where I have incorrectly lined something up and then later had to go and adjust it. And of course, it's Lego, or they're brick kits, you know. You can fix it, but it is nice to know, okay, so it's like 4 down, like 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5. So it goes there. So there should be 3 there and 3 there, right in the dead center, across from the empty spot there. And then this goes here. 2 over, 2 there, 4 this way. Yeah, okay. So let's talk about some wrestling. AEW Dynasty was a very long show, but it was a Sunday night and it was fun. Did I watch? Did I also watch Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling in Vancouver that day? A 1 hour and 45-minute wrestling show that I watched directly, like hours before watching several other hours of wrestling. Yes, I did do that to myself. And I'll be watching a lot of fucking wrestling this week because it's WrestleMania week, where I won't be watching WrestleMania or anything WWE. I will be watching a lot of shows that are happening that week from a variety of promotions, and it will be fucking cool. So I will be doing that. Okay, so you need 1 of these, 3 of these, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, great. Let's get this all figured out. But I did watch the pay-per-view, and I'll just be talking through the matches here. Alex Windsor defeated Marina Shafir by pinfall. My assumption would be that Alex Windsor is going to be the next challenger for Camille, because her tag team partner got screwed in the match. We'll talk more about that later. I just assumed Marina was going to win because they have a weird... Multiple people in AEW think way more highly of Marina Shafir than I do. I guess I'll say that. Like, I don't think highly of her the same way that others do. It's just very, very clear. So I always expect she's going to win in places I don't think she should. But in this case, no. Alex Windsor won. That's cool. Camille is back. You may remember, AEW fans may remember Camille as the muscle for Mercedes Moné, a character that did not need muscle, but had muscle. She had backup. And then Camille had like 1 match and then was gone and disappeared. And she was gone for a very long time. She got like kayfabe injured, not protecting Mercedes properly, and then got fired. And that was it. And then she was just being paid to not be there for a long time. And then she filmed a while ago the new reboot of American Gladiators. Which I found out in Britain, they just call it Gladiators. They don't call it British Gladiators because to them, it's just the show Gladiators. So anyway, some AEW wrestlers are going to be in that, including Camille, which they mentioned several times. Anyway, Camille had a squash match, which was her facing a local to the area wrestler named Big Ann. Big Ann seems way cooler than Camille, unfortunately, but did lose to Camille. And then Camille also attacked Willow Nightingale and has a TBS championship opportunity against Willow on Wednesday. And I think Camille's going to win that fucking belt because they want to, in case the American Gladiators reboot, the 3rd or 4th American Gladiators version, in case that's popular, they want Camille to be around. I guess it's not even, I don't know. I can't fully understand the thinking there because Camille is a bad wrestler and her returning and being in the TBS title hunt suddenly is weird to me and I don't like it. But, you know, I can't really do anything about it. Okay, so there's there's a rubber band here that's this band is coming up and is gonna go around this. And then there's another piece of blue here. It's gonna go here into that. Doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem like that's the way to do it. Okay. And then that's gonna live on there. Here. Oh wait. Oh, yeah. Okay. You know that. Yeah, that's a step we put on there, and then this goes on here, and then this would then go. Well, no, there's nothing for that to go on. Yeah, that doesn't seem. That doesn't seem right. That's not lined up properly. Yeah, that doesn't line up right. Okay, I'm gonna step back because I think I missed a step here. Yes, I did. I missed this. I missed this step right here. So that's why it wasn't lining up properly, is because I didn't do it correctly. I was like, this doesn't seem right, and it wasn't right because it wasn't right. That's why it felt wrong, is because it was wrong. All right, so that's got to go in like that, and then those go there, those goes there, and then there's pieces that go here. Oh wait, I didn't do that like a long time ago. Yeah, all right. Wow, I missed that step like a while back. That's on me, everybody. I done goofed on that one. That was even before you put the rubber band on. That goes like that. That goes like that. And that goes like that. And now that should work properly. Okay. Jack Perry defeated Mark Davis in a fun match. A singles match for the AEW National Championship. Mark Davis, like, definitely not going to win, but getting to do some stuff, that's always fun. I like Mark Davis as a wrestler. I think that was a good bit of business and a good spot for Mark. So I was happy to see him getting that shine. Jack Perry on the pre-show is a little weird at this point, but like, sure, whatever. Gotta do it. And then the Divine Dominion, which is Megan Bayne and Lena Cross. They are the AEW Women's Tag Champions. They defended their titles and won against Hyan and Maya World by pinfall. Maya World still very green. Hyan has been doing it for a long time on the indies, like really honed her craft, and I'm glad that she is getting the opportunity to, have an entrance. She had an entrance on a pay-per-view. They don't have a tag team name, which feels weird, but they are working well together, and so I was happy to see them do their thing, even though they obviously lost. But it was not a full-on squash. They did have an opportunity to get some wrestling in. They got some of their shit in. I don't want to say they got all their shit in, but they did get some of their shit in. So that was nice. That was nice to see. That everybody got to look good in that match. Lena Cross, still pretty new to wrestling, but she has presence. She certainly got a lot of that presence. This is the wrong thing. I put this on the wrong side, everybody. I did the wrong side of this. This is supposed to be over here. I turned around. I didn't notice it because that goes on this side of it. Anyway, she Lena Cross got a lot of on the ground training in various Japanese promotions, often tagging with the phenomenal Venny, who is just a wonderful performer, and so I think Lena Cross really got to do some cool shit by working with her. Really honing her craft that way. All right, on to the main card. The Young Bucks, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, they defeated Don Callis family. That's Okada and Takeshita. In the opener, just under 20 minutes, a really, really fucking fun opener. Really strong opener. Yeah, they really did it. Okay, this is going to go like this. Goes like that. Okay. At this point, I'm like, all right, makes sense. We'll figure it out. Oh, clear. So you can start seeing what's going on in there. That's fun. 3 clear pieces here. This opening match was really fucking fun. I did not expect the Young Bucks were going to win because Takeshita let them pin Okada. The smart money would have been on Okada quitting on the match or something, or just like giving up, just like walking away, yada, 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 doing Okada stuff and just being like, I'm out of here. But we didn't get that. Instead, we got Takeshita being like, oh, I could interfere. Actually, fuck you. Because, of course, by agreeing to do this match at all, Takeshita got what he wanted, which is a international title opportunity for a match, which is, of course, against Okada, the current champion. So that's going to be a double or nothing. And that match is going to fucking kick ass. So that was very funny. Also in that match, there was one moment where... oh, we got here. Leftronica just subscribed to Prime. Thank you so much. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site. Tier 2 Blue in the chat. Thank Leftronica so much for that. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you very much for your continued support. If you're a currently subscriber, you can throw the emotes in the chat. No, so Lashbrook agreeing to do the match guaranteed his match with Okada. This wasn't a number one contender thing or that. It was just like he agreed to be in the match. Therefore, he was getting a shot no matter win or lose. So it didn't matter if he won at that point. He was getting what he wanted, which is fun. That match also had a moment where Okada put on some of the ring gear of one of the Bucks and then got on the ring apron like he was the Buck going for the hot tag. And it was very fucking funny. It was a good bit of business. Okada is one of the best wrestlers in the world. And also, he just wants to be a mid-card comedy guy. Like that was his dream, was to be a mid-card comedy guy. But he's too good at wrestling and too hot to just be a mid-card comedy dude. So he had to like go out and be incredibly successful. So when he gets to do the comedy bullshit, he's so fucking happy. He fucking loves it. He's so goddamn good at it, too. That match ruled. That is probably my match of the night. I'm thrilled with an outcome in a match that otherwise wasn't the greatest. But I think that might have been my favorite match of the evening. Ricochet, via cheating with help from Bishop Khan and Toa Leona, defeated Chris Jericho by pinfall. I don't know quite what to say here. I'm intrigued's not the right word. I am very surprised that Chris Jericho lost his first match back. Now, a lot of people are talking about how giving that is and how like, oh, this run's going to be different and all that. And I'm not ready to believe any of that shit. I am not ready to believe that this is that because, in my opinion, if Chris Jericho was actually interested in doing that, he was actually interested in giving back and coming back and putting people over and doing all that stuff, then I think he should have started a program with Big Bill and Brian Keith and given either of them a win over Chris Jericho, or at least a chance to beat the shit out of him. He's a babyface now. They're heels. They're on Ring of Honor as a tag team. They got a tag team name now. They're doing their thing over there, but it's not the same. I think that would have been cool. And to me, that's it. It sucks because in general, you feud with Chris Jericho. he wins on the pay-per-view, you win on the TV to quote-unquote end the feud. And that's his MO in AEW. So I was certainly surprised. At one point I was like, later in the night I went, are any Canadians gonna fucking win tonight? And then one did. One did win. So there was one Canadian that made it happen. We'll get to that. Darby Allin defeated Andrade in a match that felt probably too long, where he is now guaranteed an AEW World Championship, Men's World Championship match. And he made the decision that he wants to wrestle the winner of tonight's, later in the main event of the pay-per-view. This Wednesday. This Wednesday is their title match, not at Double or Nothing. So we don't have like 6 weeks of promos unless there's shenanigans and then he's granted another number one contendership. I don't know. Did that telegraph the end of the night? Maybe, but also reality telegraphed that. Let's be real. So I think I'm going with Nosferalto, because I think Nosferalto is it's fun to do that instead of going with Golbat. We all know this is a fucking Golbat. We all know that this is the Golbat. This doesn't change anything by putting this there. I just think it's good. Indeed, Lord Crashington, there were shenanigans. So there could be more. So Chris Jericho losing his return match was shocking. Is it more shocking than FTR retaining over Cope and Cage, Adam Copeland, Christian Cage, and retaining their AEW World Tag Team Championships? I don't bet money. I'm not that guy. I do not put money down. I would have bet money. I certainly wouldn't bet on wrestling. But if I was going to bet on wrestling, it would be that. I would have bet money on Adam Copeland and Christian Cage winning those titles in fucking Canada. And I'm like, are we fucking getting another? Are we also going to do this as Double or Nothing? Is this going to continue? And then I thought something else, which I don't like thinking about. Are they going to feud with each other again because they couldn't get it done? Is Christian going to turn on Cope again? Maybe. I don't know. The other possibility, the one I also don't want to think about, is what if the talk of the Hurt Syndicate getting a new member and like trying to figure out who the member is, what if that's a red herring? And they just want the tag belts back. And they beat FTR to win the tag belts back. Which I also don't want. Everything about this sucks. The AEW tag team has some of the best tag teams in the world. They have an unbelievable collection of tag teams. And I hate that. Last night, I didn't want either team to win. I wanted a third team to get added to the match and win the belts. I fucking hate that. I hate that right now a team that is fucking boring has the belts, and the only team that can probably beat them are the team that I like but don't want to have the belts. Yes, that would be the more boring option. Yes. Because the only other thing is the Bucks, and I don't want to see Bucks FTR ever again. I only want to see Bucks FTR when both teams have retired and they come out of retirement at an indie show to fight one more time. That's it. I don't want them to fight ever again in AEW. I know they will. But there's so many good fucking tag teams. Good to goddamn great tag teams in AEW. And it's a goddamn shame that we're stuck. We're just fucking stuck. There was a 10-man casino gauntlet for the vacant AEW TNT Championship. They were not planning for this, obviously. Kyle Fletcher got injured. They needed to figure something out. The thing that they figured out they were going to do is, let's have a gauntlet, and we'll figure that out. Now, this is the AEW Casino Gauntlet, which means that Two people start, in this case, Tommaso Ciampa and Rush, and then at predetermined intervals, surprise intervals, other people come out. It's one pinfall or submission to the finish. So you just wrestle and you try to get a pin. It could end with two people. In this case, it was 10 people got into the ring. Tommaso Ciampa, Rush, Bandito, Speedball Mike Bailey, El Clon, Pac, Daniel Garcia, Anthony Bowens, Kevin Knight, and Wheeler Yuta. Only one member of Don Callis' family. I assumed there'd be more. Lashbrook, totally better than bringing the interim champ. I hate that. Yes. Having three members of the Death Riders, I think, was kind of interesting. It led to some interesting things. Having two people who were in a tag team, who were, as of Saturday, the day before, obviously it was filmed on Wednesday, but in kayfabe it was Saturday, two guys that were part of the Trios champions, and now we're in the pay-per-view, fighting for a different belt that they previously held. Like, there was stuff going on there, and I think, like, it was interesting. Sorry, I gotta make sure I'm doing this correctly here. There's a glare from my overhead camera here because it's glossy. So, all right, so this goes like that. Kevin Knight won. That was my pick. Like, did I want it to be Speedball? Yes, but I got the feeling that, like, if Jericho's not winning and Cope and Christian aren't winning, there was one Canadian that wasn't even scheduled to be there that I was like, well, if that Canadian is not in this match, then I think I know where that Canadian's going to be, and they'll get one Canadian win. Because I was convinced that MJF was going to retain, because to me that was the only thing that made sense. So, I got the wrong size. It's not this piece. It's this piece. So I was like, okay, then Speedball's not winning this. There's only one man that could win this. I mean, honestly, with the exception, there's like one person that was in that match that I was like, I don't think they should be the TNT champion, and that's Anthony Bowens, just because he's in a weird storyline that I think sucks, and I don't want to see more of that storyline. So I didn't want Bowens to win, which is also a shame because I think Anthony Bowens is fantastic. I just think he's in a rough spot creatively in AEW. But I think he's great. So I wouldn't mind him winning a belt, just not right now. But yeah, Tommaso Ciampa winning it again. Rush, Bandito. I mean, Bandito was the Ring of Honor champion, but that doesn't apparently matter at all. So it's like, okay, sure. Give him a belt. A Speedball would have been phenomenal. So far, Speedball is the first non-binary champion in AEW history, winning the Trios belts 2 times. And so then Speedball would be the first singles champion to be non-binary in AEW, which would be fucking cool. That did not happen. But yeah, Kevin Knight won. I think that's fantastic. I think Kevin Knight's going to do great stuff. I hope that we see Kevin Knight face off against Speedball Mike Bailey for that belt. I think the tag partners going at each other in a friendly competition that gets, like, quote unquote, a little too real. I think that rules. Okay, this is the button, and it does this. It moves around a bit. There'll be more going on, but right now that's what it does. Yeah, I think that would be neat. I would like to see that. Let's see, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. That match was great. I think the ending was hot. I just think that, there was some of it that was, it was a little clunky in places, but overall it was great. Thekla defeated Jamie Hayter by pinfall via cheating, and a match that got plenty of good time, was heavy hitting affair. I never thought that Jamie was going to win, which is tough. That's just tough to kind of deal with. But there was never a point where I was like, and this is the part where Jamie takes over. I was like, I I have been on record as not being super into Tekla. I feel like Tekla will be a footnote in the lineage of the AEW Women's World Championship, and people will be like, hey, did you know that Tekla was a champion? And people are like, what? Who? I just think that she is best served as muscle for another wrestler. She is the least interesting person in her stable, to me. Other people obviously disagree, but to me, she is less interesting than Sky Blue and Julia Hart, and now she is the world champion, and they are sometimes around, and that I don't like that. I don't love that, I guess. Yeah, I'm not super into that. It'd be nice if she got to do, if they got to do more stuff, because I think they're both great. But yeah, Jon Moxley defeated Will Ospreay 18 minutes in to their 20-minute time limit for the Continental Championship. And what the fuck are we doing? I'm so fucking sick of Jon Moxley. Like, look, obviously, Will Ospreay is above the Continental Championship. He is above it. It is weird that it shouldn't have been for the belt. It should have just been a match, but it was for the belt. That was a strange thing because it wasn't at first. Moxley won? What are we fucking doing here? Like, I know there's time before All In where they should put the fucking belt on the world title. So it's like, great. Are they going to have a fucking rematch that isn't for the belt? Why is Jon Moxley a champion? Why is it that belt? Why did he Why has Jon Moxley defeated Takeshita and Will Ospreay in a number of months? Why did they tease a tweener, a almost maybe leaning towards babyface thing with Moxley just to like forget it? Why is he so bad at promos now? What the fuck happened? Fucking tanked the goddamn place with his goddamn title run, and now he's just fucking it all up. Crazy. So Jericho not winning is surprise booking. Cope and Christian not winning is surprise booking. Some might even say a welcome surprise, but a surprise nonetheless. Will Ospreay's first pay-per-view back after injury, coming back to fight the guy that in kayfabe put him on the shelf, and losing to him, so they can maybe, I guess, do it back at Double or Nothing in like a steel cage and go 40. Like, I don't know. It just seems so fucking bad. Just bad goddamn booking. Really depressing booking. And then, so what had happened was, on Collision, which was taped on Wednesday but aired on Saturday, Mystico, Jet Speed, the Trios champions at the time, they were coming in with a title defense. They were going to defend their titles, or Trios titles. Sorry, let me just make sure. Yes. They were going to defend their Trios titles against the Dogs. That's formerly the War Dogs in New Japan. That is David Finlay, Clark Connors, and Gabe Kidd. So they're going to fight those. They're going to fight those guys, and the Dogs won. And they got a celebratory shirt that says like "Best Champions in the Trios Champions in the World" or something. You know, like Forever Champs or some dumb thing. And so it was weird. It felt weird. Was Mystico not available? He could be in Canada on Wednesday. Was he not available with pay-per-view? What does that matter? Just don't have the match. Why are the Dogs winning? And then why are the Dogs defending the titles in kayfabe the next night against Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and a mystery third member of the conglomeration? You know, they have attacked Ishii. They've had long problems with Ishii. Like, they've had problems with Orange Cassidy. And then Roderick Strong has gotten involved. And then it dawned on me, and certainly other people. And then I later found out that he had kind of teased, like, that he would like to be back as soon as possible. Kyle O'Reilly, Canadian-born Kyle O'Reilly, made a surprise shock return, and Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly, representing the conglomeration, won the trios belts. There are a couple notes to make here. Obviously, welcome back, Kyle. I love Kyle O'Reilly. He held the belt and he air guitarred with it. It's a dumb thing that he did in NXT, and I love it very much. I love Cool Kyle and his dumb air guitar with the belt. It's stupid in a way that I love. So I'm very glad we got to see that. There are other things to talk about here. I'm going to double check. There's often extra pieces, and this is an extra piece. And so I just want to make sure that I didn't mix this up by mistake. That is the only one so far that we did. And I did do that one. Okay. That is just an extra, I think. As far as I can tell. So we're done with bags 1 and 2. We're going to do bags 3 and 4. Why do they number them? Why didn't they just number those 1 and 1? I don't know, but they didn't. We got some extra pieces. We'll put the extra pieces aside. We're now in bags 3 and 4. There are 6 bags and the wings, which I believe are stickers. So we're going to now do some knolling here. The other things to mention. Conglomeration have a Friends inspired theme song and an opening that they shot, and so they did a couch with Roddy being what's that noise, and OC sitting on the couch, and then the prop door that is on the stage opens, and there's Kyle coming in. And he's like, did someone say conglomeration? And they're like, no, we didn't. He goes, okay, well, I'll say it. Conglomeration. And everyone laughs, and it's not good. It wasn't great, but it's a fun idea, and it's stupid. And I know Kyle loves it because he is a cornball. So it's like, okay, well, I know Kyle would love that, so I'm glad they did it. And then the dogs came out, and they kind of trashed the set because, of course, they don't like fun. Because they're just about the money. And then it was heavily implied by the fact that he had his back turned and he was doing the motions that Gabe Kidd peed on that couch, apparently. Also, during the match, Gabe Kidd legitimately hurt himself. This was not oh shit, well, he hurt himself, let's just have the other guys win. That was always the plan. It was just a short transitional thing because they wanted a nice moment where a Canadian came back, because bringing Kyle back just to lose, I guess they could have had Kyle come back and wrestled in the TNT gauntlet, but I guess they didn't want him to lose, so they just figured this shit out. And they didn't want Kevin Knight to be a double champ, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why they did it this way, but they did do it. I think each of their attempts to defile the set was cringe, but the door refusing to break was very funny. Yes, they tried to break the prop door and they couldn't, and that was very good. I think the dogs are bad. I think Gabe Kidd is just generally a bad wrestler. Now, I got yelled at by an internet stranger who was looking up stuff about Gabe Kidd, apparently. I don't know why, but it was searching Gabe Kidd on Blue Sky and came across my post, which was that I don't wish ill on anyone, but, and then there's an animated GIF that I included of my man Eddie Kingston kind of having a smirk shrug, and that is to imply that I am not sad at, obviously, I do not want Gabe Kidd injured. I think that's a shame. Gabe Kidd, in a wrestling match, severely injured Eddie Kingston so much that he was out for a very long time. That was a match with Gabe Kidd. So I can't be too I can't pretend to be too upset that Gabe Kidd is going to be out for a while. Also, my sincere hope is that they don't just run David Finlay and Clark Connors as a tag team that both those guys just don't appear on TV for a while, because I think that stable sucks. AEW made some incredible goddamn hires in 2026 and 2025, and also David Finlay and Clark Connors and Gabe Kidd got contracts, so it's not all good. Goddamn. And in the main event, MJF defended successfully his AEW Men's World Championship against Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega just kind of came out to his good music. He just came out to the good music. No really new ring gear, no special entrance, none of that, which is a phenomenal juxtaposition to MJF, who came out like on a throne with like a crown as the devil, and it was just like this whole fucking thing. He had this big like theater kid production, which like that's the character. MJF is like a theater kid with money kind of a vibe, which I think is phenomenal for what he does. I would not consider myself a MJF apologist, because I don't apologize. It's like the kind of Satanist you'd see in a chick track. Yes, it was unbelievably over the top. It was not attempted, because people were like, does he think this is cool? And I was like, the character MJF thinks that he is being incredible. The man MJF knows that he is being an unbelievably good heel, that he is juxtaposing this character with Kenny Omega just like wearing gear. Kenny Omega was just in gear coming out to be Kenny Omega. And yes, he didn't have pentagrams, but he did have 666 written on it, on the jacket. The jacket had 666 on it in several places. And I thought the match was great. I loved the goddamn... there was a table that got set up really early in the match, and it took forever until that table got used, and it got used very effectively. MJF telegraphed that he had his diamond ring, his pinky ring that's full of diamonds that he hits people in the face with. He telegraphed that he had it. Bryce Rensburg took it from him and then put it in his pocket. And then later, Bryce got knocked out, and MJF went into the pocket and retrieved the ring. And I think that is very clever and fun. And I know some people will say, Pat, MJF just does the same shit over and over again. That match wasn't good. It wasn't a good wrestling match. And I think, like, I understand that there are people who hate MJF because he's doing his job. And there are people who hate MJF because they are tired of MJF. They are tired of the shtick. They are tired of the deal. They would like him to go away or grow. And I'm not tired of it. I grew to despise the babyface version of MJF because I think it was long in the tooth and went on for too long. Right now, not long in the tooth, not going on too long. The thing is, and some people won't say this, and I think that's fine that they don't agree with me, or they just can't bring themselves to think it. MJF is a fucking great wrestler. Yeah, MJF and this version of Kenny Omega put on a fucking banger. And that's not just because Kenny Omega is a generational talent. It's also because MJF is very fucking good at wrestling. And I think it went really well. It is my second favorite match of the night. Because that opening tag match was just so fucking good. That's just like, to me, that's the watermark, and everything else was trying to hit that level, and they weren't going to get there. But that's Okada, Takeshita, and the Young Bucks having a fucking fun match that doesn't have to be anything more than a fun match. So that's just unbelievably difficult to measure up to. And the fact that it went first is like kind of rude. God, Jon Moxley winning still fucking pisses me off. What the fuck, man? Like, either they don't do anything with it, or they have another match at like Double or Nothing. Like maybe we're leading up to Forbidden Door. So we got to build the Forbidden Door where it is United Empire versus the Death Riders, like full Anarchy in the Arena style shit. It's like, okay, that could be cool, but like, I don't know. What if Jon Moxley wasn't this like invincible wrestler? What if, man? What if he took a fucking vacation? What if he got a long fucking break from wrestling? How about that? Goddamn bummer. We got freed from champion. And now we have other champion. Anyway, I'm going to take a pause for the cause. I'm going to talk about ways you can... this moved. Sorry. I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel and what I do here. We'll talk about a bunch of things. And then we'll get back into building and talk about some anime and all of that. I don't want to get into this. Lord Crash did, I don't know, hang out with his kid for a couple weeks, you know? Chill. Do some training in the dojo. Train some wrestlers up. I don't know. Hang out with some of his scumbag friends. I don't know. He could do a bunch of things. Anyway, enough about wrestling until the next time it's time to talk about wrestling. Self-promotion. It's time for self-promotion. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon, you can link it with your Twitch and get that Twitch Prime, and you can use that for anybody. And if you wanted to use that for your friend Pat, you could do that. There are a variety of ways to support. But you're already on Twitch. You could gift a sub. You could throw some bits and coins my way. You're already on Twitch. Those are the easiest ways to support me. But there are other ways, and I'm going to talk about those fairly briefly and then get back into assembly and conversation and all that. Hey, I have a Patreon. I've mentioned it a couple times tonight. Patreon.com/PatBear. Over on my Patreon, there's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. As mentioned, my $10 patrons voted for me to work on this. They also will vote on what I'm going to be doing after this. They always get a say in that because that's the top tier. But there are other tiers. Consider joining me there. I also have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. And over on my YouTube, you can, of course, subscribe for free, which, do it, please. But while you're over there, consider becoming a member of my Patreon. Membership over there gets you a bunch of things easily enough, which is my Wednesday videos. You get them before other people. I've got a video that is going to go out tomorrow for my for the people that are supporting me as memberships on YouTube, and then other people have to wait till Wednesday. So consider doing it if you wanted to. You don't have to, but you could. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you just like to throw something in the tip jar, I've got a Ko-Fi and a PayPal, and you can make a direct donation there. And everything I make through direct donations like that through YouTube, which includes AdSense. So hey, if you watch my videos on YouTube, I get money from that, so you can support me that way. Patreon and Twitch all goes into a fund, and from that fund, I pull money out to buy stuff. I bought this last year because I thought building a Golbat would be fun, a Golbat that moves around, and I like the Mega builds, especially the Mega Pokemon builds. I think they're very fun. So I was like, I want to do that. And yeah, I now get to work on that. So thank you very much. Now, I did mention that upcoming, I will be building some stuff that was sent to me by a viewer. If you want to buy something for me to build on stream, the easiest way to do that is to go to my Amazon wish list. And over on the wish list, you can find all kinds of things and send it to me. I'll make a dedicated YouTube video about it called a mailbag video, and it'll jump the queue. I've got more of the Blockies Transformers. I've got a classic Starscream and the Transformers 1 Optimus Prime. which is still on sale. So you can pick that up if you want to. I've got big kits and little kits, accessories, all kinds of things and things. See if there's something there on that wish list that you would like to see me put together. And you could do that. You could buy that, and then I will build it on stream. Much like this kit that I'm currently working on, there is on the wish list, there is a mini motion Geodude, which is kind of similar to, has like a stand, and then it's got arms that move around, because of course Geodude's got arms. So that would be fun to build. You could buy that, and I put that together for fucking sure. So yeah, you could do that. My alternative to Amazon is I have a wish list on Throne. It is nice to have alternatives. And then, of course, if you want to support me financially the most convoluted and complicated way possible, go to USA Gundam Store. A USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper on Twitch or a private message on Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code to buy something for you, in your honor from USA Gundam Store, which would be fun. It would be fun to do. Consider it. If you want to support me but not spend any money, I've got a Discord. Come hang out in the Discord if you haven't already. It's lovely. We would love to see you in the Discord. And now, some video links that I would like to share with you. I, today, uploaded a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club. Previously, I have an episode there that is my voting guide for the Anime Awards. And voting ends soon. Let me actually see when that does, so that I can stop promoting that. But if you haven't watched that, please do. It's voting in the Anime Awards. How it works. Let me click that. I'm clicking to see... Okay. Voting ends at midnight, April 15th. So, okay. So this is the last time that I will promote it here on stream. But check that video out. And then the new video that I posted is I answer the age-old question. What isekai am I going to be watching this season? There are 11 isekai out this season, and I talk about all 11. Andy Chart finally acknowledges that what I've known this whole time, which is Welcome to Demon School Irma-kun, is indeed an isekai. It was listed on their site, which makes my life easier. But yes, I listed all 11 and told you which ones I'm watching, which ones I might watch, and which ones I'm definitely not going to watch. Is it a bummer that I am not watching what could be one of the best shows this season or this year? A little bit, but it's on Disney Plus and Hulu, and I don't want to watch anything there. So I'm not gonna. Also, I like the manga, but I don't know if it's going to translate well. But maybe Mao is fantastic. I don't know. Maybe I'll see it someday. But right now, I ain't seeing it. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series where every week I recommend something along a theme. This month's theme is my favorite shows from the winter anime season. And in this case, I talked about The Invisible Man and his soon-to-be wife, which is a unbelievably lovely, fun romantic comedy about a blind girl that goes to work for a detective. Turns out that detective is invisible, but she can kind of feel him with her sixth sense in a way. And he is smitten by that. And they fall in love, and it's cute. It's a cute show. So please check out my 1-minute explanation of that as I try to get you to watch it. It's Manga Monday, everybody. So I am going to talk about 2 manga that I have been reading lately, and then I'm going to talk about an anime I've been watching. And when I also talk about that anime, I'll talk about why I went from watching 2 anime to 1 anime for Mondays, and how I stopped watching one show because I didn't want to watch it anymore. So yeah, we'll talk about that. Let's see. All right, so we got to get back to the overhead camera. I got to work on this kit. We got to hang out and do that stuff. I need to drink more water, and we need to dramatically transition back to the overhead camera, and we'll do all that right now. Mm. All right. Let's do this thing. I guess I'll just start with, before we get into the anime, we'll start with the manga here. I watched episode 1 of Needy Streamer Overload. And I liked the first episode. Needy Girl Overdose is another way to call it. I liked the first episode, but I didn't know if there was anything really for me. And then the second episode, I kind of quit halfway through. I think that it relies too heavily on you playing the visual novel. I don't think the characters are introduced in any real way. There was a character introduced in episode 1 I forgot about, and when she's in episode 2, I was like, who the fuck is this? And then I looked through my notes and realized, oh, I wrote about her in the first episode. And I think that's handled very poorly. I think this is an anime for diehard players of Needy Streamer Overload. And that's not me. I didn't play that video game. It's not like Genosha, which I think was a phenomenal adaptation of a video game. And I thought it was really well done. And you didn't have to play the video game to like the anime. In this case, I feel like it feels like I need to go and track down the video game and play it. And I don't really want to. So I dropped that show. I might pick up something new, but because I didn't watch that episode till today, because of all the wrestling I watched yesterday, I just decided I would start with some manga, and then we'll talk about the one anime I did watch, which I still really like. Reluctant Space Commander from Death Wish to Galactic Hero is so fucking good and weird. So this is not an isekai. He is a little bit overpowered in a way, but not like in an obvious way. So our guy at the first chapter of the manga, our guy gets dumped. He had a long-term girlfriend. They had plans to get married. He doesn't really have much. He's an orphan. He doesn't really have that much of a family backing, but he did have love, and he thought that would be enough. And then she dumped him and ran off with another guy. And, heavy subject to bring up right now. He contemplates suicide. Our dude now is just like, all right. And he's a coward. He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to take his own life like that. But he sees an advertisement for the Space Force. There are pirates and monsters and all kinds of stuff out there. And there's, and he's like, okay. He has a vision. And the vision is dying heroically in the line of duty. That would give his life meaning, and he would leave his mark on the world. And he's like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to the academy. I'm going to train really hard. I'm going to make this happen. And he's like, okay, yeah. He signs up, and he's just like, I'll say like a cool line as I sacrifice myself, and that'll be it. And you know what? Honestly, it's not that bad of a plan, really. It really isn't that bad of a plan. There is, however, one problem. He's really good at being a commander. Like, he's really good at the academy, and to the point where he is, because of his humble upbringing, his orphan upbringing, he's despised by people that he's better at without realizing it. So he gets basically in charge of a skeleton crew in an old ship of all the troublemakers, people they want to die. And he thinks, hell yeah, that's great, because they're not going to listen to me, and we're going to go into battle, and it's just going to and then I'll be able to protect them, and maybe they'll get reassigned because of what happened, and it'll all work out. But again, he's brilliant at it. And also he has people that respect him who are kind of helping him out along the way. Friends he had made in the academy, he didn't realize thought so highly of him. There's a bunch of people that are like looking out for him. Eventually, the princess of the kingdom, because there's still, it's a monarchy, is like, the reforms I would like to make in this corrupt system, I'm going to need, people that have my back, and I think it's this guy. So she like gives him accreditation and support, and his lackluster crew of misfits. They're weird, but they're not bad. None of them are bad at their jobs. They're just kind of, the problem children is that like they don't respect authority, but they do all but like one who's still like, I think something's off with this guy. Everybody else is just like, nobody's ever listened to us. Or there's one girl that's just like, everybody keeps telling me that my weird ways are wrong, but I get results. But this guy now, Commander now, like, trusted me when nobody else would. And like, it's played for laughs. And also I should point out, he doesn't want his crew to die. He wants to go out in a blaze of glory. And he keeps trying to go out in a blaze of glory, and it doesn't work out. But he doesn't want them, he's not trying to kill his crew. He's just trying to die in the active duty. And it is a unique fucking story that I'm really happy that I checked out. That is Reluctant Space Commander from Death Wish to Galactic Hero. It is just really well written, really well told. The manga looks really nice. It is a very unique premise. I am happy that is a premise that I get to talk to you about, because I think it is just kind of fucking great. Yeah. So I recommend it. I also recommend The Retired Sage Wants to Live a Leisurely Pioneer Life. This one is overpowered main character, misunderstood, shouldn't have been released from his job, but is kind of looking forward to a cool life. Basically, someone takes over the academy that he teaches at, and she gets revenge on him for not holding back her brilliant son, who is not brilliant. He's just a noble, and she can't see that. She's blinded by it. And he's just like, yeah, I do it again. She's like, well, you're fired. He's like, okay, I'll leave the country. And then, of course, people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? No. He ends up at a country, and he's like, I'm just going to start a second life. There was that job offer I got a few years ago. So he shows up at this other kingdom. Turns out one of the castle guards was a student of his, and is like, well, you're here? One of his other students shows up. She, of course, has romantic feelings for him as well. And that is mostly played for comedy, and that is probably the thing that I like least about it. But of course that's there because it's a goddamn manga. It's an adventure manga. So of course a young lady is enthralled with our main character. I'm like, ugh. It's the worst part of the whole thing. Anyway, apparently the job offer was from the king of this country saying like, hey, we got this uninhabited island, and we don't know anything about it, except that like it's a disaster. And the last time we sent people there, which was decades ago, something fucking terrible happened, and they all, some of them disappeared, some of them came back, but it didn't work out. So we'd always wanted to do it. And he's like, yeah, I would love to use my magic for that. He's got an assistant. He's got some people who are traveling with him. There are natives that inhabit the island, and they immediately start liking our guy. Of course they do. So one of them starts hanging out with him with some students and stuff. And there's a weird shipwreck. And then in the background, people who there was a generation of students that he taught. They were like the golden generation, is what it's called in the manga. The golden generation, and they find out that he's doing this cool shit, and they're like, we got to get over there. Now, also, it's because the kingdom that he left is falling apart, and they recognize this shit is fucking going crazy. They're getting involved in wars. They certainly can't win. This place is probably a lost cause. And so they start also heading there, and like a bunch of them are just like, hey, how come you didn't tell us you were leaving? We would have come. So they were starting to see that happening as things start, picking up some steam there. There is some refugees that they take in. It's, I don't know, a lot of shit is happening in here. And I think it's pretty fucking good. It is, again, a huge power fantasy thing. It is a overpowered main character type story. If that is not your jam, then I would say it's probably not the manga for you. I don't think this is going to change your mind or be the best example of it. It's pretty good. They do downplay a bit. Eventually they start downplaying the part of the girl that left to go be with him and to be his assistant, that he was like, I don't really need that. Okay. And it's very clear that she has feelings for him, which, again, I'm not the biggest fan of, obviously. I generally don't like when those things appear, but it's not a deal breaker for me, even if it is like annoying. That's another manga that I've been reading and enjoying. That is The Retired Sage Wants to Live a Leisurely Pioneer Life. I think it's good. And yeah, that's Manga Monday. 2 manga to recommend. And now, an anime to recommend. Episode 2 of Kusunoki's Garden of Gods. If you didn't watch the first episode, or you didn't hear my chat about the first episode, I will tell you all about that. It's really fucking fun. All right, so let me see here. We got this. Let me just get this together here. This goes like this. This goes like this. This goes like this. So then if this is here, and then this goes like that. We're basically like setting up like some kind of like little diorama here. Because it will be, it'll say Nosferatu. Nosferatu. And then I'll be able to push this thing, and then something will happen. I think the wings flap when I press this. I believe that's what it is, but I don't know yet. But we're getting that together. Okay. Building a little diorama here, which is looking pretty neat. We need that. We need 2 of these. Anyway, this anime rules. It's about a guy that took over a property, and it was an area that is like just fucking festering with evil spirits. But our guy he's not an exorcist by trade. He's an exorcist by ability. He's just an overpowered character that his soul is just so pure that when he moves in, he instantly like frees up a bunch of monsters and evil spirits. His grocery list, he wrote a grocery list that becomes a talisman. There are exorcists in this world, and they come and visit him because they're like, hey, we're investigating. Oh shit, you did all this. And he's just like, okay, yeah. And also a fox spirit, Yamagami shows up. Yamagami shows up and he's just like, hey, I'm sorry about this. I got weakened because not enough people believe in me, and that caused a lot of problems in this area that you cleaned up. So I would love to hang out in your garden, and like just by being here, I'm getting stronger. So thanks so much. So in episode 2, Minato, our main character, he is running out of money. Because he's been buying offerings for the minor gods to give them some power, and Yamagami, and he's like, yeah, money's a little tight around here. I didn't expect to be spending all this money on stuff like this. So he's running out of money. But then he randomly wins 100,000 yen in a raffle. What? And that's because, and we find out it's not just because his luck suddenly improved. Well, it did, but that's because his air is so pure and clean in his home that another god has showed up in his garden, and that's Reki the turtle, who is one of the 4 heavenly beasts, but he's the beast of luck. And apparently, in the first episode, there was an evil spirit that got saved by his grocery list. And that spirit was trying to take possession of the turtle. And the turtle's just like, oh man, that could have been awful. And so he's basically, our guy now has good luck because of that. He has insane good luck. Because then he wins 1 million yen in a sweepstakes. And then he's given seeds to plant. And then some other gods show up. Fujin and Kaijin show up. The art for this looks so good. It somewhat looks like it's from a different anime. It's that kind of style of animation where they just feel otherworldly. It's really nice. They show up, they receive offerings because they're like, you can see us and you can place some offerings, and that would be really kind of you if you feel like it. And he's like, yeah. And then our boy Minato gets his first magic. Like, obviously he can charm, he can not charm, but he can clear out possessions and stuff like that. But now he knows wind magic, which is that's just cool shit. So let's see. So yes, he has wind magic. The exorcist we met in the first episode, Haruma, has been using the shopping list, and Minato drew a pentagram on his arm. So he's using those things to, now all of a sudden, he is a stronger and better exorcist. And he is now, there's another exorcist that is jealous of what's happening. Senshiro is jealous of what's going on there. He would also like cool shit like that. The seeds that he got gifted are starting to grow, and they become a camphor tree. They're starting to grow, and this is good, big news. All good stuff. Sorry, 1 second. Let me just here. Okay, yeah. So they're getting everybody's getting fucking psyched about that. Let's see what else happens in this episode. I'm looking at my notes here. Oh, okay. Yamagami has a shrine on Mount Hojo, but it's been long neglected because people weren't regular humans couldn't go onto the mountain. Before. So Minato's like, I'm going to go there. And there is there's another evil spirit nearby. And Minato doesn't want to approach it. So what he does is he uses his new wind magic. He did get that new wind magic, so it's time to use that magic. He uses the wind magic to blow a new piece of paper with his writing on it at the spirit, cleansing it. And then also, apparently, that particular evil spirit was targeting a dragon. And the dragon is now free. And that is another heavenly beast named Oreo. Oreo shows up at the house later and is just like, hey, great job. Hell yeah. And he sees the camphor tree that is growing, and he's like, I got you. And then uses its magical ability to make the tree fully adult. And then, so there are now a bunch of gods all living around and hanging out and growing in their power, and kind of, resetting nature as it should be. And that tree is now fully adult, which is cool. Haruma shows up. Now, we find out that Haruma can't see any of these gods. Knows that our guy Minato is like a natural exorcist and is really helping the area, but doesn't see the gods, can't see those gods, doesn't know that's happening. But Haruma shows up and is like, I would like you to write some stuff down on business cards so I can throw them easier. So basically he wants to make like holy shuriken, business card shuriken, which is, I think, very cool. And then he says, hey, instead of the pentagram, could you draw this grid, which is apparently his family crest, and that will also help him do a better job of exercising various spirits and such, which is fun. And then later, Sishiro, the jealous person that throws a tracking talisman onto Minato, and so we don't know what they're after, what their deal is, but we do know that they are like targeting Minato, which Minato probably can't protect. I mean, he does have wind magic. He probably can't protect him too much from human ill will, but he does have a bunch of gods that think he's pretty awesome. So I imagine it's going to be okay. Also, this feels like the kind of show where it'll be okay. Oops, I did this wrong. I don't know how I'm going to get this out. Uh-oh. Maybe I can do this. Can I do this? I shouldn't have put this in like I did, and now I don't know how I'm going to get it out. I'm going to try tweezers. Let's see if I can friction pop this out. But yes, I fucked up. This is my first major fuck up of the build. And I don't know how I'm going to get this piece out. Huh. Yeah, I need... That's probably not going to be long. That's not going to be long enough. This might be long enough. Yes. Okay. That's enough to get this out. Oh boy. All right, good. I really did mess that up. It's just supposed to go like this. I goofed on that one, everybody, and that could have been bad, but it wasn't bad. Thankfully, wasn't bad. Oh, they give me the 1-to-1 to see. So I got to do one of these and one of these. Put it on there. I'm really loving this anime. I think that Garden of the Gods is it's very chill and very fun. They're giving me a 1-to-1 here, so I can just line this up and then kind of shove that in like that. And there it goes. That's a 1-to-1. Excellent. All right, so I made one of these, and now I can continue to add more stuff to it. I think these are going to be the things that attach to the wings eventually. I believe that's what I'm building right now. Hey, we got some time left in the stream, friends. We're small but mighty tonight, which is okay, it happens. But I would love to hear from you in the time we have left on the stream. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? What do you got going on? I always love hearing from people about the things and things that they're excited about. So feel free to share what you're into, what you're up to. Obviously, this weekend, I watched a lot of wrestling. This coming week, I will also be watching a lot of wrestling. None of it WWE, I should say. But we got AEW on Wednesday, and then Thursday, I might watch Collision's going to be on Thursday this week, and I might watch it, the replay of it, or I might later watch it. And instead, I'll probably watch the New Japan Pro Wrestling show that'll be in Vegas. That is, it's Depsy's. El Desperado is doing a show that is like a deathmatch show, and the lineup looks really fucking good for that. So I'll probably end up watching that. Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling has a show on Thursday in the afternoon, but I am not available to watch that, so I'll probably watch that on Friday. I'm going to watch Joey Janela's Spring Break. There is a Sendai Girls show from last week that I couldn't watch because of other wrestling commitments. And so I want to watch that because one of my favorite wrestlers in period, certainly one of my favorite Joshi, up until now, one of my favorite independents, Ryo Mizunami, aka Aniki. Ryo is no longer a freelancer. She is now fully signed to Sendai Girls Pro Wrestling, which is awesome. That is a huge pickup for them. That is great for someone who 6 years ago, or 4 or 5 years ago, was thinking of actively retiring. She was on the verge of retirement when she got the gig to be part of the AEW Japan and US tournament, the women's tournament. Okay, so this feels like it feels like I did something wrong here. So I'm gonna pull this back and kind of figure this out, because I don't think this is supposed to be like this. I think it's supposed to be tight. So I think I did something wrong here. So I'm going to disassemble all of this and kind of figure out what I did wrong. So hold on. But I definitely did something wrong here. I don't think that... Like, this shouldn't... Like, this is... I don't think this is supposed to go like that. Maybe it is. No, when they put the photo there, this is straight like this. So I definitely did something wrong here. So now I get to see if I can figure out what I did wrong. So that's fun. I wonder if it was this. This piece. I don't know. Sorry, everybody. But anyway, I'm really happy for Ryo Mizunami because I think she is a phenomenal wrestler, a phenomenal worker, and just like a real good person. So I'm very happy that she is getting the opportunity to live her dream and work with a great promotion that I like a lot. I think Sendai Girls are a phenomenal promotion, so I'm very happy that she is going to be there full time. But I got to watch that show, and I'm going to watch it on Sunday. Because as I said, I'm not watching a WWE WrestleMania. I have no interest in WrestleMania, so I just won't be checking it out. Okay, so we did all this, we do this, and then this goes into here. That I understand. That goes in like that. This is the thing that I need to make. Okay, so this goes here, and then there's this piece, which is this. Is this the right one? There are several of these. I think this is the right piece. Oh. Yeah. Okay, this is the right piece. This goes into... Okay, so... This I have to separate. This is... There we go. Okay. I think this is where I fucked this up. So this piece goes into here. No, see, that just spins around. I think that's the problem. This piece, I don't think this piece is supposed to spin around. And then when I put it in here, okay, it doesn't spin around as much. It's not as loose this time. And then this goes in like this. And then this goes in like this. Now this still seems very loose, and I don't know why, but this is because where they have this set up, it doesn't look like it's loose at all. So that makes me worried that I did something wrong. But I don't know. You know what? It does connect. Okay. It does connect, so maybe it'll all work out. I'm not sure. I don't know if I've done this correctly, but it will connect with the bat wings at some point, so I think it'll be okay. if I'm not particularly confident in this, I think it'll work out. I think we're going to go with it, even if I'm not, even if, again, I'm not super confident with this being the way it is. I think when it interlocks with other stuff, it'll be all right. We'll find out. If we have to fix this later, we'll fix it later. We haven't done anything of the actual Golbat yet, but that's okay. Because this piece is important. That's the thing, right? Is that this piece, as we press this, is going to move this up and down, which is then going to move other stuff. So if this piece was supposed to be more rigid than it is, I'll find out later if I fuck that up. But I don't know how to make this rigid, so I think it's just... I think it's okay. I think we're okay. I don't know. Lastberg says, I watched Dynasty. I kind of wish I hadn't spent the money. See, to me, I think there's only one really bad outcome. There were weird outcomes, but I think the great wrestling overrides the fact that I'm frustrated that Jon Moxley won, and like, why did that match even fucking take place? But other than that, like, I don't know, some people are harsher on it than I am, but for the most part, I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I thought that was a great show with that. But I understand some people are just like, they really just wanted Kenny Omega to win. And I'm like, yeah, he wasn't gonna, but I understand wanting him to win. But it's just like, he wasn't gonna do that. But I get it. Yeah, I thought that show was, except for Mox, I thought that was a phenomenal particular show, but that's just me. Mystery Wrestling was on Saturday and was probably my new favorite show of theirs. I thought that was a solid show. I did see that, and I thought that was pretty damn good. I think they had wrestlers from different promotions every match. Had a good weekend in Marathon. Finally managed to make it out of the titular Marathon's crypto archive in a match. Hell yeah! Love to hear that, Lashbrook. That's awesome. Congratulations. All right, we got this done here. And we got to build 2 of these, which I didn't realize I got to build. So we're doing this again here. We need the one with that and the one that's regular. And this here. But yeah, I understand. I don't know. I had a good time. I had a good time with Dynasty. But I understand why some people were frustrated with it. Yeah, just like I said, I had one match where I was like that. I mean, seeing Camille, who is a bad person and a bad professional wrestler, and knowing that she's only fucking on the pay-per-view because she did American Gladiators, a job she did not get because she was in AEW, is I would say kind of frustrating. I'm kind of frustrated by that. I would prefer that she not be used because she is, as I said, bad at wrestling, and also a bad person. So, it'd be great if she wasn't there. What are you gonna do? All right, look at this. We didn't build any part of the Golbat. We just worked on the mechanism for the motion for our mini Golbat here. But I'm sure that we will, on the next stream, do more of that. More Golbatting. All right, so this one goes here. We're just getting our frame figured out. There's that. And then this one. This goes here. And then this piece goes down. I'm going to actually. Well, put this out. I'm just gonna push this down here. Lord Crash says, I just started to watching the Handmaid's Tale. Like there's been too much positive stuff going on, and finished season 1, which was really good. I guess I'm working towards eventually watching the sequel series, The Testaments, that just started. Okay, yeah. That is a choice that you could make. I guess I'll say that, Lord Crashington. But yeah, all right. I'm glad you're enjoying it. But yeah, I've never had any desire to watch any Handmaid's Tale. So I don't have much to say about it. Again, I've never had any inclination to enjoy that myself. All right, we'll do a couple more things here and wrap stuff up. we'll enclose this here on the back. Right in the dead center. Look at that. Kind of enclose that thing. So now this thing won't move wildly. It'll just move up and down, which should theoretically make the bat wings flap. Which again, I'm a little worried about this piece, but we'll find out. It took me a bit to realize that Miranda from Mass Effect 2 is part of the main cast. Okay, yeah. I do remember that from years ago. But again, I don't have a lot of memory of it. And then I do want to point out the last thing that we were putting on here before we do, because the next step will be some of these blue parts, because we're going to start working on the wings. We build the wings before we build the body, which is interesting. The last thing we're going to put on this kit, for now anyway, until we get into more stuff, is these pieces. Now, these might look like ordinary 1x2s. They're a little different in the bottom. You're like, oh, that's strange. That's different than a normal piece. But here's the actual thing. Please observe, as I use my incredible strength to bend this and make waves in it. My incredible skill at bending plastic. It's rubber. These are rubber. These are rubber pieces here. This is rubberized plastic to put at the bottom so that it doesn't skid around. Which is neat. That is neat to do. We just pop those in at the bottom there. And then, oops, I just knocked the thing over. Yeah. And now this has a little bit, doesn't move as much. I'm still worried about this, but we'll find out later if there was something I just didn't understand. Or if it's supposed to be this wobbly and they just don't let you know. Like they didn't design it to look like that. We'll find out later. But this thing's pretty fun so far. What we got done so far, and we'll do more. Well, I think we're gonna finish this on Thursday. That's my guess. Is that we'll wrap this up on Thursday. So let me just get here. I am just gonna put all these parts over here so that I can deal with them later. And that's gonna do it for tonight. And what we've worked on so far. I'm going to guess it makes sense as you get Golbat built. Yeah, that's my guess, but I'm just a little worried because it doesn't quite match what we were doing there, and there's no note saying it'll be wobbly. But we'll figure that out as we go, as we build our Nos Feralto. I want to thank you all so much for being here. I'm very happy with how the lighting looks right now. I got to tweak some stuff here and there. Right now, it's more about how I look in the webcam more than how I look, how the overhead looks, because I think the overhead looks fantastic. It's just me that I need to adjust a little bit. But I'm very happy with how this worked out, and I'm glad you're here, and I hope you had a good time. Again, not too many folks with us tonight, which is okay, but we are going to still, despite everything, we're going to end with a raid. We're going to go see what other people are up to and go spend some time with them. And I would like you to do that with me. Let's go find Oh, apparently I didn't have audio. Sorry about that. The wrong thing got muted. Anyway, sorry. We're going to raid Mary Kish. And a reminder, tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to play the Adventure Time pack, the DLC for Power Wash Simulator 2, and I want you to join me for that. Power Wash Simulator 2 is real fun, and I hope you'll have a good time with that. My apologies for muting my fucking microphone instead of the background audio. Thanks everybody for being here. I hope to see you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.